Oh my, that's right. We are going live, and how do I? Yep, so we're in the process of getting online everywhere. So welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. My name is Chris Curran. I'm going to start the Facebook stream right now too. All right. Well, there you have it. Hello, Facebook. Hello, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere. We are everywhere. We're not just streaming in one or two places. Actually, this page right here, YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Mixer, Periscope, Stream.me, and Smashcast. Anyway, that's where we're streaming. Hopefully, I don't know how many people are... See, when you start streaming, it's like, people need to get the notice and then tune in. So anyway, this stream's going to be pretty cool because we're going to be talking about Auphonic and some of their new parameters, and which are still in beta, which I have access to. So thank you to the folks. Thank you to the folks at Auphonic for giving me access to these beta features, which is awesome because I'm psyched to try them out. I looked at them briefly the other night when we were finishing our last class of the last batch of Podcast Engineering School. So I got to peek at the parameters, and it looks really good. Pretty cool. Hey, Livestream Universe. What's up, brother? Yes. I know who that is. The man who sent in the audio for the 100th episode of my podcast, and he wanted to gift me a Blue Yeti. Ross Brand. So hey Ross. Anyway, I got this little thing on the screen from Ecamm Live. Oh, let me check if we're actually live everywhere. Oh, online, Mixer's online, Twitch is online. All right. So I'm actually psyched about this stream. I've been wanting to stream recently, and I have a few things I want to stream, and I got some interesting ideas, but finding time to stream is not easy. So, yeah, the only mic for podcasting, Ross, is the Blue Yeti. Yes, period, only. That was one of the funniest clips in my 100th episode. So I have a few things I want to start streaming. It's just sometimes it's hard to find the time for streaming. And I know the whole thing with streaming is you're supposed to do it regularly, right? And I get that. And I'm trying to get on a regular schedule. I actually have a regular time slot that I put aside, but it was actually yesterday, and then I was actually tired, and I didn't have the energy to do it, which I know. I guess I gotta, suck it up, cupcake. But anyway, I forgot that the comments are on the screen. I keep looking down here at my iPad. So that means, you know what I should probably set my iPad to is my favorite sidekick.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Uh-huh. I don't know if you could hear that. I'm sure you could hear Barry, right? There you go. Barry, what do you think about this stream so far?
There's no activity, no giggle, no nothing.
There's nothing. Wow. All right. So, we're gonna look through Auphonic, and so I got some new stuff coming up. I'm not gonna mention what it is, but some new streams. Oh, thanks, Ross. You heard it. Yeah, I got some new ideas for streaming coming up. But today I'm psyched to look at these new features. So Georg from Auphonic sent me an email and said, "Hey, do you want to check out these new features?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't tell him I was gonna do it on a live stream, but I don't know. It shouldn't be. I hope it's not a problem. So hold on, I got to adjust my window here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so Sun Power Pod, what's up? Yes, so yeah, go ahead to your meeting. You could check this out later on the replay. So happy to have you guys here. And as I'm going through this Auphonic stuff, definitely ask me questions and, you know, whatever you want. I guess that kind of goes without saying, but anyway. So I got a bunch of programs open. Okay, Ross says, don't listen to the experts. Go live when it works for you. Thanks, man. So I got a bunch of programs open, so I'm going to actually be putting some audio through Auphonic and looking at it and listening to it, and sort of trying the different settings within Auphonic. And so with Auphonic, I'm going to have to upload some audio. First, I'm going to have to make some audio to upload. Then I'm going to upload it. Then it's going to do its thing. And then it'll say, okay, it's done. Then I can download it. Then we can look at it again and see, you know, see how the parameters that I chose affected the audio. So it's pretty cool. So I got, of course, my RX6, RX6 software set up. This is probably the best audio software there is for fixing bad audio. I actually have my Ozone 8. Got to move that over. Oh, no, that's good. Got my Ozone 8 because if we want to do some mastering or anything, then I have, of course, I'm routing everything through my Audio Hijack, which I actually made a video about my crazy Audio Hijack setup for my students, the podcast engineering school students. I let one other person see it, a good friend, and he's like, why don't you release that publicly? And I was like, it's for my students. It's part of the school. But anyway, I might release it. Then, of course, I have Reaper, in case we need to do anything in a multi-track DAW. And then, of course, I have Twisted Wave, which is my, detailed editor, you might say. And so, hey, by the way, I just realized, yeah, baby. What's up, everybody? Anyway, you don't want to see me. I mean, seeing me small is enough. And I'm a small person. So anyway, reminds me of high school. Anyway, so let's do this. So what we're going to have to do is I was actually looking around for a piece of audio that was like irregular, meaning with like big level fluctuations and stuff. And I couldn't find it. I was looking through my show and by the way, so Dan Dugan, episode 101 came out today. And next week is Dan Gonzalez from Isotope. And then the week after that is Renee Coronado. The Dan Gonzalez one is done. The Renee Coronado I didn't mix yet. But I'm trying to like figure out which audio I can use. So maybe we should use me and Mike Helms. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a piece of audio that is not optimal. See, I'm trying to figure out. All right, well, I'm just going to do it. So if I go here, we're going to take Mike Helms. We're going to bring him into RX6. Oh, he sent me a multi-track wave file. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you. Will it open it? Yeah, it will. So this is what Mike Helms actually sent me. He was on episode 99, and he recorded on his Mix Pre 6, and he recorded, when you record on a Mix Pre 6, or actually he has a Mix Pre 10T, the sound devices Mix Pre 3, 6, or 10, when you record multiple tracks, they record it as a polyphonic wave file. So this is actually one wave file that has 4 different tracks in it. And you can have wave files with, 6 or 8 or probably 10 tracks or whatever. I don't know if there's a limit. But anyway, he sent me this. And I think this was me, recordist. So I know that was me, and this is him.
Out there. And then a lot of people, though, use like the synth.
So wait, I thought I broke him down. Yeah, Helms 1. All right. Let's try this. Yeah, there we go. This is the Helms 1. So let's go. This is so weird that I actually have to, basically I have to create a piece of bad audio and then fix it because I don't know. I don't really. So where is this? This is, where's the cursor?
All right.
10:30. All right, so from 10:30 to the beginning, I'm actually going to delete. And then we're going to chop it at, let's chop it at 8:40. So we're just going to take an 8-minute and 40-second piece of audio. And we're going to make Mike's level low. So I'm going to actually, for the loudness, I'm going to minus 23. So let's put him, like, let's make him really low, like minus 34. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take Mike. Yeah, see how it's low now. So now I'm going to go to, I'm going to go and export this as a 24-bit WAV file, but I'm going to call it Helms 840. And I'll save it in that folder. That's fine. This little thing on the screen for Ecamm Live is kind of in my way. So I'm trying to figure that out. All right, now I'll take my track, which is my track, my first one. Yeah, this is my track. This is my raw track. And so what did I say? We're going to cut from 10 minutes. So, all right, so we're going to have 10 minutes, I think it was. Yeah. All right, so we'll cut it from 10, again, cut it from 10 minutes. And then we're going to cut it at 8:40. Close enough for rock and roll. See, so now you're going to know. If you ever need to create a file where two people sound terrible together, you're going to know how to do it. So now this is my file, so we're going to make the loudness. See, this thing's getting in my way all the time. We'll do it. We'll make mine really loud. So we're going to put mine at minus 16 LUFS, and his was at minus 33 or something. Oh, I haven't been looking at the comments. Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Just shared it with the folks in the Podcastage Discord server. Bandrew. You've used Auphonic. Yep. With all these awesome tools, do you really need Auphonic? Yeah, Ross, good question. The answer is no. I don't actually use Auphonic. Well, I shouldn't say that. I sometimes use Auphonic in an emergency. So sometimes in my business, I will get a piece of audio from a client that will be so horrendous. Like, before thinking about what I'm going to do with it, I just put it through Auphonic and pray and hope and wish and everything. What's up, Jay Brucifer, the devil, 666. All right, wow, look at how loud my file is now. All right, so let's export this. And I hope they line up. I mean, at least fairly well. All right, so what did I call? Oh, yeah, Chris 840. I should have named him 840 Chris and Mike. So that's what I'm going to do, actually. Yeah. So we'll just put 840 Helms, and where's Chris? Here we go. Oops. All right, that's good. And all right, now we got to, I guess, open these up in, I'm going to just dump them into Reaper and mix them together real quick. Come on. All right, there you go. And let's zoom out. Do they line up? Oh, God. Oh, God. Why don't they line up? I thought I did it. Oh, this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Oh, wait, how's that look? Oh, that actually looks pretty close. That's usually good enough, but the 10T is good for you because when you're on location, right?
Exactly. And so, you usually have one.
There we go. All right. See, I was lucky. All right, now let's mix this down. Let's render it as 840 mix, and we'll save it in. Oh, really? I'm going to have to browse for the directory. All right, we're going to save it. So we're mixing it down into one file, and it'll be, I like to keep it 48. We'll put it in mono because that's part of the test, and we'll render it. So that's it. We rendered it. Boom. All right, let me make sure I'm seeing your guys' comments. You can just call me Bruce. Yeah, baby. What's up, Larko? Nice. I got a green monster waving at me. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go to. So this is our file. Let's open it with Twisted Wave. We could see it. 840 mix. So actually, let's get rid of that one. And let me make sure this lines up. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys, if I'm like slow with, I don't know if I'm slow or because I'm still learning how to get everything on my screen and fit it in. But anyway, look at this. Well, we could just chop off this in the front. We don't need that. So this is the file. Look at this file. So you got me, and we'll chop off the end as well. So you got me and Mike Helms, and I purposely made him really low and myself really loud. So now we're gonna test Auphonic. Actually, yeah. So this file's good. So let's just save this, and boom. All right, it saved it. So now we're gonna go. Oh, thanks, Bruce. I'm doing fine. Now we're going to go to Auphonic. And so here's my account. We can look at productions. I haven't used Auphonic in a little while, but yeah. So we're going to go to new production. And so here's where the, you know what? I could put this over here. Oh, that's brilliant. I'm a genius. All right. So here's a new production. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually upload the file that we just did, which was here, Helms, 840 mix, open. So now it's going to upload that wave file. And yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go through everything in Auphonic. Like you can actually make presets and stuff. And but the idea is, if you're not familiar, we're going to upload a file here, and we're going to tell Auphonic to do a bunch of stuff with it. And then we're going to click start production, and then Auphonic is going to do its thing. And then we're going to download the file, and then we're going to open it up, and we're going to see what Auphonic did. See and hear what Auphonic did. So a lot of this stuff we don't have to deal with, like intro and outro. You can do a lot with Auphonic. You can add the intro and outro to a podcast episode right here. I don't know many people that do that, but I think some people do. Metadata we don't need. Extended metadata we don't need. Chapter markers we don't need. Output files, yes, we want to choose. We're going to choose wave. See, you can't get a 24-bit wave from them though. And we want mono. And the suffix, not ZUPH. I like to put AUPH. So the file we download will have the same file name as we uploaded, but on the end of it, it'll be _ AUPH. So that means I know it went through Auphonic. So, yeah, so we can only get 16-bit. I forgot about that. You can't get a 24-bit from Auphonic. Yeah, the RE20, right? Yeah. So, all right, speech recognition, publishing. All right, and here we go. These are the audio algorithms. This is the whole reason I'm streaming this, right? And make sure if you have questions, let me know. So these are the audio algorithms that Auphonic has had for a long time. So the adaptive leveler this is actually the function that should level my voice with Mike's voice. So it should bring my voice down a little probably and bring his voice up a lot. So they should be even. So that's what adaptive leveler means. So we are going to try that. Let's just do that as a test. Loudness normalization is awesome too because you can actually choose your loudness target. So we're going to choose -19 because it's mono. And mono -19, that's the standard. So, wait, what is this? Oh, all right. So then you have the filtering, which this filters the low end. It's like a low end roll off. Probably, I can't remember exactly what frequencies it rolls off, but it's probably like 60 or 80 hertz and below, something like that. So I'm going to take a drink. What are you guys drinking out there? I'm drinking Celsius. It's like an energy drink, but it's healthy, apparently. All right, noise and hum reduction. So noise and hum reduction is really helpful. This is actually the feature that I use Auphonic for. All right, Bruce. All right, water for now. Good, good. Like I said before, when I get a piece of audio and I look at it and I listen to it and I'm like, uh-oh. I upload it to Auphonic and I use the noise and hum reduction. You know, if there's a lot of background noise, obviously. And so use noise and hum reduction. And then you can choose the reduction amount. Well, I think you have to choose it first. Yeah, then you could actually say how many dB you want it to bring the noise down, which is pretty handy. Or you can leave it on auto, which it kind of scans for the noise and then it'll remove it. Got too many mics? Oh, yeah. I'm in your club, buddy. Too many mics. The Biodynamic M99 is discontinued recently? Really? Interesting. That's a mic I never tried, actually. But that's one that I considered for the microphone test drive booths that I did at Podcast Movement and NAB. Biodynamic, the M99, was one that I was considering having in the lineup of 10, 12 mics. Or 10 mics. So, all right, now look, this red thing right here, show advanced parameters. Ooh. Okay. Is this exciting? I'm excited about this. All right. Leveler preset. All right, so now, like, look, we got the adaptive leveler up here. We can use it, but now we can actually choose basically the amount of leveling or the harshness or the softness of it. And I'm seeing these for the first time. So medium sounds like medium. Hard probably means that it'll really level it more aggressively. I'm assuming this is what we're gonna try. Soft, softer, speech medium, or music soft. So maybe this one is if you have music, like if it's an entire podcast episode, maybe you would want to choose this one because you have music and you want to level. You don't want to level the music really too much at all because most music that you would use in a podcast has already been mixed and mastered and everything. It's done and it sounds good. Sometimes I'll tweak the EQ of music slightly, like if there's too much low end in the music, like even in my show with this music right here. Tell me if this is too loud for you. Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that's my intro song for my podcast. And I actually roll off a little bit of low end on that when I mix it with my voices or with the voices in the podcast episode. Just to clean up the low end, make it a little less muddy. So there you go. This is pretty cool. So leveler presets. Medium, no compressor. So I wonder what that means. By the way, I am going to have Georg on my show. Well, it'll probably take about a month for me to interview him and for it to be published. But I am going to have Georg on my show. We're going to talk more about this. So All right, so these are the leveler presets. I guess medium is sort of like the default, which is interesting. All right, the max loudness range. And sorry for this. Well, actually, no, I'm not sorry. I mean, look, every time you hover over something on this page, on the bottom of the page, it comes up with like a description of what it is. So let me look at the leveler preset. Yeah, see, the default is medium. So this actually changes the adaptive leveler algorithm. The max loudness range. I think this is my favorite part of this new features, this max loudness range, because this is awesome. So first of all, loudness range. I just want to explain real quick what that is. Let me bring a file into. You know what? I'm going to bring the one we just did, the 840 mix. This is the one we just created. I'm bringing it into RX6, and now if I click on loudness, you'll see, it scans the file and gives you all the details about the file. So true peak is minus 0.6. The integrated LUFS is minus 16.5. But look down here, loudness range, LU, is 21.9. Now, the reason it's 21.9 is because I intentionally made Mike really low. See, his true peak is minus 16, and I made myself really loud and whatever. But you could see, for instance, even if we just highlight some of my track, my loudness range is 8.9. And if we highlight some of Mike's track, his loudness range is 4.1. Let me try another section. 5.9, 5.4. So normally when I mix podcast episodes and I master it, and my last step is in RX6, normally the loudness range is well, I would say anywhere between 3.8 and let's say 5, or let's say 4.8. 3.8 to 4.8, somewhere in there. That's the loudness range. So that's like the difference between the loudest part and the softest part, sort of, in terms of loudness, which is different than peak level. The loudness range, the range of that loudness difference is 5.4 for the selection we have here. Again, my full episodes end up being, let's say, around 4 or 4.5, something like that. So this is what. So right here, I highlighted some of my voice. Right, it's the loudness range is 9.1. So if we go back to Auphonic, this is so cool. Because look, Auphonic is letting you choose what loudness range you want the final file to be. And look, 3 is very compressed. 4 or 5, again, I aim for around, let's say, between 4 and 4.5 or 5. And then you have all the way up, like that section, little section of my voice we just highlighted was about 9 loudness units, the loudness range. And you can go all the way up to here, which actually that'd be a fun test. If my voice at 9, the loudness range is about 9. What if I put it through here and chose 25? Would it actually like expand the dynamic range of my voice and to make the loudness range 25? I wonder. Anyway, maybe we'll try that. So this is cool. So what I want to do, well, we're gonna figure out what test we're gonna do, because we could just test a bunch of different things. Yeah. So, all right, next thing. So this maximum loudness range is it's so cool. Like, I'm so glad. And this is actually really helpful to podcasters, because one of the problems, and this is actually huge. So one of the problems, like, Auphonic is a great tool. It's just great in many ways, especially the multi-track Auphonic, which you can actually buy and download. It's a program you run locally. It's really cool. But Auphonic is known to be a tool that podcasters use where they'll just record their conversation, let's say on Skype or something, or Zencaster or Squadcast or Ringer or whatever, and they'll put their voices through Auphonic, and the Auphonic will level the voices together, and Auphonic will also bring up the whole mix to the loudness standard, which is what this loudness target is right here. It'll normalize it to a loudness target. And that's awesome. The problem is that most podcasts, if you're not using any compression, this loudness range is going to be high. Like for my voice, it's 9. That's pretty high. That means, again, my example is always, if you're driving down a highway doing 80 miles an hour and the loudness range is too much, sometimes it's loud, but then sometimes it gets so soft you can't hear it because of all the road noise. That's not good. That's what mastering is you're bringing the dynamic range, you're making the dynamic range less so that people can always hear it. That's why radio is completely just crushed in terms of compression and limiting. So what I'm saying is that forever, a lot of podcasters will use Auphonic, which is great, and it levels it to the loudness target, but the loudness range will still be 9 or 10 or 12 or something like that, and that's too much for me. Remember, I mix to, let's say, between 4 and 5. So the fact that Auphonic now gives you the choice to set the loudness range, that is huge for podcasters, especially podcasters who don't know anything about audio. I don't know. I'm going to test this. I'm going to see how it works, but just right off the bat, I would say the average podcaster would probably set the loudness range to maybe, if you set it to 6 or 7, you'll probably be fine. Now, that's just right off the bat without any testing. We're going to test it, and then we're going to see how it sounds and actually what it does, right? Because I don't even know what it does yet. But my point is that now the average podcaster will be able to choose a loudness range, and that'll make the overall podcast episode sound way better in terms of being a better listening experience for the listener, right? All right, maximum peak level. This is awesome too, because now you can choose your peak level. I always choose -1. So when I'm in here, and you can see my preset is -1, -16. So my true peak, I always choose -1 when I'm doing mastering, like the final file. I'm talking about the final episode, the last step. I don't do this. Well, I shouldn't say that. I do something along the way, but the final file, I like to peak at -1. That gives it 1 dB of headroom, which is good. It's safe to keep 1 dB of headroom. So now I'm really happy that Auphonic is now going to give you the choice. What do you want your peak level to be? So I would just choose -1, which, look, it says EBU R128. So that's some sort of standard, right? That's some sort of EBU standard. I don't know what that stands for. And look, -2 is another standard, right? ATSC A85. I have heard people, I have heard people, they set their maximum peak to -2, and that's probably why, because it's another standard. So, but -1's fine for podcasting, of course. And there's should be no harm in going all the way up to 0, but some apps and some players, if it goes all the way up to 0, it might actually distort slightly. It would only be a slight distortion, but again, if you're going to be a professional audio producer, you don't want to mess with 0. Again, -1 would be fine, or -2, whatever. I use -1. So that's cool. All right, now the hum. Well, look, okay, so in the previous parameter of noise and hum reduction, if we turn it on, we had the choice of reduction amount, but now look, now we have other choices. Hum bass frequency. So sometimes if you know and the reason 50 hertz and 60 hertz is there is because that's like a ground hum, an electrical ground hum. That's the frequency of it. In the US, I think it's pretty much 60. But I don't know. I don't know when it could be 50. I'm not sure. But it doesn't matter. It's like, well, first of all, in RX6, you can see a hum. You'll just see a bright yellow line going across the bottom here. But yeah, and if your ground hum is really that bad, then you should actually figure out what's making the ground hum and maybe get a ground lift and remove that. But the fact that you can dial this in, if you know your ground hum is 60 hertz and you could put it in there, that's awesome. And hum reduction amount. So I guess this is the hum frequency. This is the hum reduction amount. So what's the difference between this reduction amount? Maybe this is maybe this becomes the noise, more the noise reduction amount. Yeah, disable denoise. All right, so yeah, this is, okay. So in their normal denoise, they probably also scan for a hum and sort of remove it. But this reduction amount is mostly probably for the denoise. And this one here is dehum. So now there's sort of, well, it says dehum, denoise only. Oh, disable dehum. Okay. And auto, of course, is auto. So probably you would just leave these at auto, right? That'd probably be the best thing. So, so we're actually not going to use any dehum or denoise because we don't need it. Let's not. Well, I guess these parameters are sort of, these are the average settings. Medium. The level is set on medium, the max loudness is audio, and the maximum peak level is auto. So this is normal. So like, for instance, if you just use the old settings, these are the actual settings behind there. So let's do this. So we have our file. This is our file. And we're uploading this file, and we're going to see, so we want to use the adaptive leveler, that's clear. Filtering, we don't need any filtering. And loudness normalization, well, it's just good. So what we get it back, we know that it's a good loudness level. So we could set the level actually. So that's good. So let's run this. This is sort of like, even without these new features, this is something you could run. And let's just see how Auphonic does with this. So I'll just click start production and start production. Yeah, you got to click start production twice. Well, when you press it the first time, it sort of tells you, okay, we're going to do this and that and that. Okay. And then you got to hit it again. Sometimes I'll hit it once and then I'll walk away and I'll come back like 20 minutes later and I'll be like, oh, I forgot to actually hit go. So, all right. Well, you know, I forgot that on Facebook, if you're watching on Facebook, I don't think I've been looking at the comments, and I'm sorry. I don't know. Is there a way I can see? Maybe no one's watching on Facebook or commenting. So anyway, so you could see it's working on this. So the next, actually, so this is one thing we're going to do, but I also want to, we need to test the, we're going to take Mike's track. So let's take Mike's track, which was which one? This one. No, well, that's with the RX. Let's try that. Let's try it. Yeah, this should be good. Let's check the loud. I want to check the loudness level, the loudness range, 6.3, 5.2, 7. Wow, so what happens is, if you're actually, if you stay on mic, like if you have good microphone technique and you stay on mic and you're very consistent, that will make the loudness range less, which is actually a really good thing. That's why microphone technique is actually really important. Let's check this bit here. 4.7. Wow. Mike Helms, look how consistent he is. All right, well, I'm going to have to try something else. Let me try my file. Where's my file? Right? I look sort of consistent. 5.8, 7.1, okay. 5.4. Man. Let's try Ben Sherman. Here we go. This is his raw Zencaster track. Ben was a previous guest on my show. And the actual Auphonic. Yep, see, it's done. So now we're going to download. And look, it appended the AUPH to that, so that's good. And now I got to make sure I save it in the right place, which was the Michael Helms. So we'll save that. And we're going to open that in, oh, wait. Oh, look at Ben Sherman. Look at his mic technique. It's tough. Oh, see, 8.5. Okay. Let me try this part here. Oh. 9.1. All right, so this, let's try this part. 8.3. 9.0. All right, let's use, I wish I had someone with horrible mic technique or something. 9.8. All right, let's use this piece here. So I'm just going to create a little piece of Ben Sherman, and then we're going to see, 10.9. All right, so we'll use this and just get rid of that. And now we can export this. So we'll save this as, well, as a wave, 24, and ZBen test. This will be test, and that's fine. You know what? Cancel that. We'll just leave it there. All right, so let's go back to, well, we're going to go to RX because we're going to bring in, we processed Michael Helms. Here it is. And so now let's bring it into RX6 and look at it. Wow. Really? Can I shuffle these around? Yes. So this is what we put into Auphonic. This is what we put in. Look, remember, he was softer and I was a lot louder, and we did that on purpose. This is what Auphonic gave back. That's pretty good, right? Now let's just listen to it. We'll spot check it.
How much do you need to spend? and it really, I want to say, I think I got it at Guitar Center. I think it was like $50 or something.
All your interviews are over the internet so far, correct?
I did one. Let's see, I've done one or two in person, but yeah.
See, look at that. This is 43 seconds. Watch this. 43 seconds. Internet so far. All your interviews are, this is before. All your interviews are over the internet so far, correct?
I did one. Let's see, I've done one or two.
See that difference? And now look at the after. Same piece of audio, right? 43. You're doing all your interviews are over the internet so far, correct?
I did one. Let's see, I've done one or two.
Yeah, so that's good. All right. Well, this is nothing new, right? We said this is something that Auphonic has been able to do already, and so we just tested this. So anyway, but it was cool to see that. Now, see, this is really nice. And the level, right? It was supposed to spit it out at -19. So if we just sort of test that, we could see what the level is. I'm expecting it to be, well, -18.8, close enough. So that's pretty cool. So now we got this Ben Sherman clip, and the loudness, this is what I really want to test, the loudness range. So the loudness range is 10.8. This is the raw track, loudness range 10.8. All right, so let's go here. Let's do a new production. And now let's upload. Oh, see, I haven't been looking at the comments. All right, not too many comments. Sorry if you're on Facebook and you're commenting. I don't think I could see it on what I'm looking at here. But anyway, all right, so let's go. We're going to bring in Ben Sherman, the Ben Sherman clip, right? Which was what? Here it is, test. Boom, that's the wave file. All right, so we're going to upload the Ben Sherman test to Auphonic. We're going to append that onto the file name just so we know. And, oh, yeah. See, this is why it's good to set a preset. How do we set the preset? Choose a preset. How do we save it as a preset? Anyway. All right. Well, that's going to be the output file. So now we're going to do, well, let me see. See, if we turn the leveler off, then then we can't choose a loudness range, which makes sense. But we could still choose a peak level. That's pretty cool. So we're obviously going to use the adaptive leveler. I don't want to use the filtering. Yes, we want to normalize it to minus 19, just to keep it standard mono. And for the leveler preset, let's use medium. For the loudness range, this is just for testing. We're going to choose 3 loudness units, very compressed. And the level, we're going to put at -1. And we're not going to do anything with the hums. And this is it. This is going to be our test. So let's do it. Right? Am I forgetting anything? All right, let's do it. So now we're going to see, because remember on the original file here, well, let's just watch this because this shouldn't take long at all. All right. I hope my stream is going well. Hope you can hear me and hear what I'm playing and all that. All right. So, Untitled. Yes. So, in Colorado Springs, by the way, it's August 23rd. Today's the 23rd, right? Yeah, 23rd. The last couple days at night, it started to get down into the mid 50s. And so it's almost, it's like already you could sort of feel like fall's coming slightly, just a little bit. But you know what? That's normal. We don't have the longest summer here. I mean, in the middle of the summer, it's hot, but then like it's a long spring and it seems like a long fall. So, and the weather's pretty kind of unpredictable as well. So the server's working. That's what's happening right now with this file through Auphonic. And so we're going to see how this turns out. We're going to bring it into RX6 and check it out. And then we're going to, this is really going to be interesting. Audio processing. Okay. So by the way, if you're, I don't know if you knew, Podcast Engineering School is starting on September 18th. And there's still time to get in. All right, it's done. So let's download it. And yes, good. It appended the name. Oh, we got to put it in the right folder. Okay, save. And it saved it. Now we're going to, right here, we're going to bring it into, right here. Wow, look at, the phase. See how so much more of the wave is positive on top of the wave than below the wave? That's interesting. Yeah, and that's not a super huge deal usually. The only time it's a really big deal is if it's way on one end, then it'll actually peak and can distort instead of down here. So if you look, that you can see it better there, right? See how on the bottom it only comes down to like here, but on the top it goes all the way up to -1, right? That's what we specified as the cutoff, right? -1, not the cutoff. What are they calling it? Let's go. Let's get ready to do another one. Yeah, the maximum peak level, right? -1 is what we chose, so you could see it's -1. Now the question is, and I don't know, just because I want to do it, let's fix the phase on this thing. Now watch what happens to the wave. Ah, doesn't that feel better? See, perfectly in phase. Okay, so now this is the file we got back, and this is the file we sent them. Now, actually, just to make it an equal comparison, let's put the file we sent in at -19 as well, just to match them. So they'll be the same overall. They'll be the same loudness. So that'll allow us to perceive the loudness units, the dynamics of the loudness. So now also on this one, let's run the phase just to make sure this one's in phase too. Yeah, this one also is skewing toward the top, so that makes sense why Auphonic sent it back skewed toward the top as well. All right, so now you can see this. This is the before, and that's the after. And look, just switching back and forth, you can tell. See, up here is loud, and then like right here, like around 40 and 50 seconds is lesser level, lower in volume, and then it gets loud. And look, when we click over, it's much more even. The loudness is even, the whole thing. So let's actually listen to some of this. We'll start right here, which is what, 33 seconds.
And so, for instance, you know, there's bass amps and there's guitar amps, there's high gain, there's vintage, there's all kinds of different amps. There's the other thing I like is there's like boutique amps that you wouldn't think would be in here, like the Friedman DS40 or.
So you could tell right here he starts talking at a much lower volume, right? So why don't we zoom in? This is not easy. Oops. So we got the big peak here, and then we got 2 here. So now let's try to zoom in on the other one. Similar. Sorry, this should be it. Yeah, this should be exactly it. All right, so now you could tell right here is where he gets really low.
The other thing I like is there's like boutique amps that you wouldn't think would be in here, like the Friedman.
So let's zoom in on that part. And now I'll zoom in on that part here too.
Boutique amps that you wouldn't think would. The other thing. Friedman.
There we go. All right, now look. All right, this is the before. This is the after. See how the thickness that came up after? This is the before. This is the after. That's because of the compression. So, all right, so now let's listen to the before.
The other thing I like is there's like boutique amps that you wouldn't think would be in here, like the.
See, he starts going under his breath right there. Now listen to this. This is after.
The other thing I like is there's like boutique amps that you wouldn't think would be in here, like the Friedman.
See, wait, what the heck? Oh, so you can tell when this is the original, he starts talking really low volume. And again, if you're jogging or if someone's listening while they're jogging or in a gym or anywhere, like this part might get lost. But when you run it, this is it's supposed to be 3 loudness units. You can see it brought up the lower parts to make the loudness dynamics less. And did we check this? We didn't actually check this is the file we got back. Look, it says 5.7 is the range though. And the original 10.7. So anyway, that's a little weird, right? That even though we sort of, you know, the file we ordered, so to speak, was 3 loudness units, the maximum loudness range. When we do scan it with RX6, we find that it's more like 5.7. So yeah, again, and it's okay because even the LUFS is slightly different. So anyway, this is why we're testing this. So
fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or you know, Dinosaur Jr. or any of these bands that use fuzz heavily. That's just an amazing pedal.
I'm kind of liking what it did.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or you know, Dinosaur Jr. or any of these bands that use fuzz heavily, that's.
So I'm pleasantly, I'm pleased with the fact that we set it to 3 loudness units, very compressed, and this is what we got right here. And it's you know, it does sound compressed, but it doesn't sound over compressed like with the pumping and breathing or just really just crushed.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or you know, Dinosaur Jr. or any of these bands that use fuzz heavily, That's just an amazing pedal.
So it still sounds, natural, which is, again, good. I mean, you can hear that it did a lot of processing, but it's, again, I'm pleasantly surprised. I shouldn't say surprised. I'm pleased. That's good. I like that. All right, so what else can we try? We wanted to try the opposite, right? Let's try the opposite. Let's take the same file, which was test. This is our test Ben Sherman test file. And we got to do all this again. Wave, mono, our suffix. Then we're going to go, I want to go all the way to 25. The other thing is we had it on medium. You know what? Let's try this again. 3 loudness units, hard, max peak level. We'll keep it at -1, and we don't need the filtering. And we want it at -19. Oh, here's where you could save it. So save. Wait, what is it doing? I've never done this. I never clicked save. Well, we're going to find out. Hello, Noslin. What's up? Watching on YouTube. Oh, see, it saved it. Like, it literally saved it. All right, so let's edit it, which means we're just going back into it. And, right, everything's the same. So now let's start production. And this should, so the only difference in this one is we made the leveler preset, we put it on hard instead of medium. So, that was quick. That was quicker, wasn't it? All right, so this is Auphonic. Let's put it number 2. And right, 97 is where it was. Okay. Now here, let's open it. Ben Sherman, there's our file. And again, let's just phase it because it's, I don't know, it makes me uncomfortable when the when the wave is so skewed like that. But here, let's listen, let's check the loudness level too. See, now it's 4.4. So this is even more harsh. Yep, because we put it on hard. So so now let's compare the first time we did it with this time. So now we're going to go here.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or, Dinosaur Jr. or any of these bands that use fuzz.
Okay, that's pretty good. Now it's same spot. This is with the hard setting.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or, Dinosaur Jr. or any of these bands that use fuzz heavily.
Yeah, see, now that's too much for me. You can tell right here. Well, I'll zoom in on it so we could see it easily. Right here is where he starts talking, and then he starts to trail off, and then you could see, like, literally right here, Auphonic brought it up so much that it sounds louder than this part. This part sounds louder than this part. Check it out.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of, like, Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or...
Like, it just brought it up. It's too much. Unnaturally, it brought it up too much. So that is unnatural.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes, that's for you, Noslin. What am I gonna need to get comments from Facebook?
You're going to need a couple of horses or a couple of mules.
There you go. So what we just found out was that let's go to another production. We just found out that the hard setting right here, that's extreme. Which makes sense. I mean, why not? You make one extreme, one soft, and one in the middle. So medium was okay. I wonder what soft and softer. Anyway, let's try that again. We're gonna make it softer. So we'll choose our file. Same file. And we're going to put in this stuff again. Wave, mono, Auphonic. And then let's do, we don't want to do filtering. Let's do, well, again, we want -19. And how about hard, soft, softer, medium, soft? Let's try soft. I don't know. Let's try soft, and let's put it at 25 loudness units. And I want to see if it does the expansion, if it's really going to make the loudness range, expand. So, I'm going to make my prediction right now. It's not going to do that. It's just going to leave it, whatever loudness range it is going in, it'll just leave it. I don't think it'll expand it, because well, we're going to find out, but that's my prediction. Anybody else have any predictions? Are you scared? Are you scared to put this file into Auphonic and make the loudness range 25 loudness units? Are you? I hope not. Well, anyway, let's do it. Is that music loud? I don't know how loud that music is. And I'm going to fade it out, right? I always have to fade things out. I can never just literally stop any music short. Like if I'm ever going to turn off music, I can never just hit stop. I always have to fade it out and then hit stop. I don't know. Does that make me weird? But although sometimes the exception is, sometimes when I'm watching a movie and the movie's over and the song at the end is going on and on, I can shut that off. I don't mind shutting that off. Most times. Sometimes I do like to fade that as well. All right, we're going to save this as what? 3? Yeah. 3. All right, let's see how this one looks. Oh, it was still downloading. All right. So here it is. Well, we'll correct the phase. Oh, you guys can't really see the phase thing. It keeps popping up here on the far top right. You probably can't see that. All right. So this is, so this is the original, and this is the one we just put in. And yeah, it looks like I was right. It didn't do extreme expansion, so it just left it as it was. But anyway, let's listen to the same section.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or Dinosaur Jr. or anything.
So it looks very, very similar to the original. Slightly different. It's hard to tell. Well, let's check out the loudness. So this is the loudness of this is the one we just did, right? So yeah, 9.7 is the loudness range, and the original one 10.7. So yeah, it actually compressed it slightly, but that's probably because of the adaptive leveler, not necessarily. So let me just go here and show you. That was probably because of the adaptive leveler, because it kind of levels it out to a target. Now the max loudness range, again, I think I just proved that it won't expand the range. It'll compress the range. So if you put in a file that's 10 loudness units, which is actually what we've been doing, and you choose 3 or 4, it's going to compress it. But if you put in a file that's 10 loudness units already and then choose 25, it's not going to expand it to 25 loudness units. It's just going to leave it at what it was. And the peak level, that's just the peak level. That's simple. So what else can we try here? Well, we got speech, medium, music, soft. We got medium, no compressor. So that's interesting. All right, so the first test we did was with medium and auto. No, it wasn't. Was it? Now I can't remember. This first one we did. Anyway, we're going to do it again. We're going to do a different one right now. Again. So we're going to use the adaptive leveler. I want to put it on medium, no compressor, and normalize to -19, and the max loudness range. Let's try 3 LU. So now this will be compared to our, and the peak -1. This will be compared to, sorry. This one. I think. Or no, this one. Number 2, we crushed it hard. Well, number 2 was hard. All right, I'm confused now. Either way, we're going to try this. Very compressed with medium and these settings. Oh, but we got to attach the file. That's our test file. And we already, oh no, we didn't change these again. All right, we'll do that. Yeah, those, so there's I guess I could put a whole episode, or maybe the beginning of one of my episodes in there and see what it does. Like with the music, like my intro music of my show, and then me coming in and talking, and then we could just do that and then choose, you may close the browser. So I'm actually going to go here and just, speech medium, music soft. Yeah, so I'm going to do this one. And but what I need to do is take one of my episodes. I guess it doesn't matter. We could do the one from today. Hey, did you guys like on the Dan Dugan episode that in the beginning of the episode I was like all psyched and hey Dan and what, yeah, you know, whatever, and he literally didn't say anything. He just was literally didn't say anything, and it left me in a weird spot a couple times there, but he's a great guy. So let's do the whole episode. This is the wave file of that entire episode. And so where's the music stop? Do this. And I have to remember my 3 new, not new, you can learn a lot. And if you implement the best of, and when you announce that you're, yes. See, sometimes, Dan, when you announce that you're going to cough, then you can leave it in. You don't have to edit it out. All right. Anyway, I'm just going to delete all the rest. And zoom out. So here's the problem. Wait, what happened? I just deleted the whole thing. Oh, did it go back? What happened? Why didn't it delete it? There we go. All right, I deleted it. So the problem here is that this is already a mixed episode. And I already compressed it and mastered it, and I did everything. So this is probably not a good test, but you know what? Let's just try it. Test. There you go. All right, so we got the test in there. Now we can do it here. Let's upload that. So we need to go Dan Dugan, and we'll go to test. All right, we got the test in there. Now we do want stereo coming back, but we want the wave file, stereo, and that can be our thing. And we're going to choose adaptive leveler, I guess. It's not going to level anything. Normalize it to -16. That's fine, although it already is -16. Is this going to make any sense? You know what I'm going to do? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back. Productions. Is this the one? See, look, they're all the same name. Really? Well, this is the most recent one, though. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we got the first one, then we got 1, 2, 3, right? So this is going to be 4. So yeah, so this is going to be 4, I believe, right? Or sorry, I meant 4. It's hard to type when you can't see the keyboard because there's a microphone in the way, right? Yeah, it's up to 3. So this is 4. So let's look at this one first before we do the other test, because I actually want to do something different there. So let's go ahead and open up number 4, which is the one we just did. Now this was on, and let's do the phase real quick. And this one was set on music. What was it? This was set on speech medium, music soft. Right? No. Medium, no compressor. Yeah, that's what it was. And here's our section.
A Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like a Big Muff Pie. So if you're a fan of like Smashing Pumpkins or Pink Floyd or you know, Dinosaur Jr. or any of these bands that use fuzz heavily.
Yeah, that turned out really well too. Yeah, that turns out fine. Yeah, this is pretty good, man. All right, I'm gonna just get rid of all these. I'm gonna get rid of some. And 840 mix, that's what we were working on, right? Yeah. So now this is the one practically more important than the sound quality, but they're both important, right? Yeah, episode 101. So let's play some games here. Let's mess it up. And I don't know if we could, you know what? Why not? This is going to be really stupid. Look at what I'm doing. This is terrible. Here, listen. Ooh. Dan Dugan is here. That's right. I can't believe it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you more about Dan, but I first want to welcome you to Talk Shop with podcast producers, audio engineers, and other specialists. I have a background in the music. That sounds good. All right, let's export this. This is going to be our test file. Right? Where's our test file? There it is. Test. So save that. Yes, replace it. And now we can go try this in Auphonic. Let's first choose our test file. There's our test file. And I haven't looked at the comments in a while. Yeah, baby. Not too many comments. Unless you're on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and commenting, I'm sorry. I don't know how to see the... Oh, wait, I can see him. Ben Dow. Ben, I watched a bit of this live. Looked good. All right. Well, see, look, I can see comments on Facebook on this other computer I have over here. Because Facebook makes you jump through 97 hoops to stream on their platform. So, all right, we're going to go. We got the file. We're going to save it in stereo. And now we're going to do the adaptive leveler. We're going to normalize it to yes to -16. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I meant to do something different. I wanted to take the overall loudness and change it. So right now it's -14.1. Yeah, so the beginning of the episode is and let's just make it, let's do this. Right? See, now we're really messed it up. Now this is a real test for Auphonic. Where's the test? That's it? Yeah, that's it. Save, replace. All right, now we're going to have to go do this again. Real quick. So this is going to be, this is quite a brutal test, what I'm doing right now. It's almost not fair. But, you know, again, we know that, and so, but we're just testing, right? We're figuring out what we can do, and we're learning. So we're not going to filter loudness normalization. We're going to use the leveler. We're going to now we're going to do speech medium and music soft, and the loudness range. We'll just leave it to auto, and the peak we'll do -1. And so what we're listening for here is that the music, you know what? Let's put this on 3. Let's make it very compressed, just for the test, right? That's better. So the speech, it should be medium compression, but on the music, it should be soft. So it's in theory, is what I'm thinking. It shouldn't affect the music too much. It'll affect the speech more. Right? So that's what I'm thinking. And also the normal, it'll bring up the whole level, and it should level the parts that we made softer too. So let's check this out. Yeah, because we really, the overall level is low, but then we took these 2 sections and we really brought it down low, which again isn't really fair, but that's what we're doing here as a test. So I could actually see people, podcasters, like with these advanced features, like figure out like what settings are good. And I'm going to, as soon as this is done uploading, I'm going to go to the settings and let's try to think of like what settings would be good for let's say the average podcaster, which I think we kind of talked about it already, but Noslin says, I'm talking from Brazil. I love Ralph M. Rivera more than I love you. Ah, yes, thank you. Ralph needs another boyfriend besides me. Tell him, please. Tell Ralph to use the universal twin audio and preamps via ADAT to get rid of DBX and big box. There you go. Yeah, and you know what? You can go to podcasterstoolbox.com. That's the service that Ralph is working on. He's almost done. And so podcasterstoolbox.com. Send him a love note through his website, Noslin. Absolutely. Come on. All right. So real quick, the average setting for the average podcaster, filtering, for the average podcaster, I would say yes, you would want to use the filtering. You would want to use the adaptive leveler. You would want to normalize it to, let's say the music is in stereo. Or should we do mono? Or is the average podcaster publishing in stereo or mono? That's a good question. I would say mono. So let's do -19 because it's probably mono. Now the leveler preset might be the best thing to do. Well, we're going to see how this setting is. Let's see right now because I'm curious. This might be the best setting. And the loudness range, I would say maybe... Yeah, I don't know. Let's say 5 for the average podcast, I think. And the peak level, I would say -1. So this might be the good average settings for a podcaster who's publishing in mono and who it's their entire episode, meaning that there's music and speech. And I guess if we're kind of thinking that there's no hums either. And no noise and hum reduction. Well, so the noise and hum reduction is on a case-by-case basis, right? Like if it's noisy, if there's a lot of background noise and there's a hum, then of course you would use this. But if there's not a lot of background noise, then you don't want to use that because it will deteriorate the quality of the sound a little bit, at least, even if there's no noise or hum. So yeah, this would be my recommended settings. I wonder if we should take a screenshot of this. Oh, you know what? I know how to do this. Man, this is crazy. I'm like streaming. And I'm screen shotting. Did you hear that little the little computer sound to take a picture? I'm wondering if you heard that just now. All right, so now let's go to productions. This is this is the one we just did. Oh, see, look already. It brought up this music here, and then like these 2 gray parts are the parts that we really brought down. So it's interesting. You could see right there. All right, so let's download it, and right, it has the Auphonic extension, and this was Dan Dugan, right? Yeah, 101. Test Auphonic. Okay, yeah. So let's save that. All right, now let's bring it into RX6, and look at this. Well, you can actually see where it brought up the music. I wonder what we're going to hear. I wonder how the transitions are going to sound. But other than that, it looks, so this is the new one. Well, this is the old one. I should bring in the original. Oh, no, I don't actually have the original. Oh, wait. I can go back to the initial state. Oh, man. Oh, wait. Yeah, that's before. Oh, wait. I want the first delete. This is pretty cool in RX6. You can actually, it keeps track of every little thing you do to the audio, so you can step back one step or step forward one step. It's pretty cool. And I have to go to the second delete. Yeah, this is it right here. So this is the original. I wonder if can you clone one of these files? I've never tried to do that, but anyway. All right. So this is the original, and then this is what we got back from Auphonic. This is the original. That's what we got back. Very similar, but this is the original. You can see the music up front on the original is louder. You know why? And this is actually a good point to make, and I'm just going to remember to look at the comments. Okay. It's a good point to make. So this is the original, and when I mixed it, obviously, okay. See, over here is when me and Dan are talking. Me and my guests are talking. This is voice, and the level's good. Okay, fine. But the music that's coming in, like the intro music when it comes in, is louder than our voices because it should be a little bit louder, meaning picture me standing next to you talking, and then picture a band like 10 feet behind me jamming out. The band's going to be way louder than me talking. So that's why it's natural that music sounds louder and bigger than one human voice. So that's why in my mix, the music is much louder. Like if we actually do the loudness, like look, this part of the initial part of this episode is minus 12 LUFS. That's how loud it is. Now, the rest of it, and then if you look at this part of the conversation, that's minus 14.7. But the overall LUFS level of the entire episode is minus 16, right? Because that's what I set it to. This clip is minus 13, but remember, this isn't the entire episode. So what I'm saying is that what Auphonic did here was it brought down the level of the music, and what did it bring it down to? Yeah, see, minus 16. So it brought it down a good 3 dB, which is interesting. So let's hear this. Let's just listen to the original real quick. This is the original. Let's do this. Dan Dugan is here. Yes. Yes. All right, that's enough. Now listen to the Auphonic. Let's do this. Dan Dugan is here. Yes. Yes. Well, yeah, clearly a lot lower in volume. So now let's check these two spots where we, remember on the original, well, let me skip ahead. Remember, this was what we gave Auphonic, right? This is what we gave him. So this transition right here and this transition right here is right here and right here. You can actually see the line. You can barely see a line there. So let's hear what that transition sounds like. This is after Auphonic has done its magic with this terrible file that we gave it. Let's listen. Dugan is here. That's right. I can't believe it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you more about Dan, but wow, see how it well, now we got to zoom in because this is, see, it went all the way down, but then Auphonic quickly faded it up. So because Auphonic probably in the algorithm, it doesn't want to do like sharp changes. Like it wants to fade things out quickly. So right, listen to that. That's right. I can't believe it. Anyway, I'm going to tell you. Yeah, so, I mean, look, and again, it's unfair what we gave Auphonic, but it's just, again, we're just observing what happened. Now let's hear at the end of this, right here. Here's audio engineers and other specialists. I have a background. Wow, see, it faded it out, and then it continued. Podcast producers, audio engineers, and other specialists. I have, right? How nasty is that? Podcast producers, audio engineers, and other specialists. Anyway, again, it's not a knock on Auphonic at all. We're totally messing with things now. But here, let's see where did we bring down the volume over here was about right here. So probably right around there. So let's see. Let's see the transitions here. Quality, but it looks like one is right here. Quality, but they're both important, right? So, of course, Barry is with me as always in studio. Yep, same thing. It faded it out real quick, and let's see what it does over here. Where did it come out of it? I think it came out of it here. I have to edit it out.
Good morning, Chris.
Right. Anyway, so I'm going to officially introduce you, Dan. Trust me.
Okay.
So anyway, podcast. Yeah, right there. And trust me.
Okay.
So anyway, podcast. Anyway, so that was a little unfair, but what I wanted to check was the level of, like, if it's actually destroying. Hey, Bryant Jackson, what's up, buddy? What I wanted to check in this setting of Auphonic was if it, remember, because the setting we used was this one: speech medium, music soft. So now I'm looking at it. I'm wondering well, wait. Yeah. Anyway, music soft. Does that mean the music is softer, or the compression on the music is less? Anyway, I'll have to ask Georg about that. But anyway, so let's use our ears. What can we hear? So let's go to as taking less time to produce. Anyway, podcast. Yeah, so right from here to the end we gave it to Auphonic at a normal volume. So let's listen to the quality of this, see if it sounds, over compressed or just anything. Anyway, Podcast Engineering School. If you haven't heard of Podcast Engineering School, check out the website, Podcast Engineering. Yeah, that sounds pretty normal. What was he going to say? Engineering School. Check out the website, Podcast Engineering.
Can't use ribbon mics in nature because...
Oh, that's some weird edit. That's not in the real podcast, I hope. 152. Let's check it. Now I'm scared. Initial state. Oh. 152. Yeah, so that was a delete there. The website, podcastengineeringschool.com. The next, yeah, that's not in there. So, so I wanted to step back to after 2 deletes. And anyway, podcast. Yeah, so this is the original, what we fed Auphonic. Anyway, Podcast Engineering School. If you haven't heard of Podcast Engineering, that sounds good. And then here's what we got back. Hey, Podcast Engineering School. If you haven't heard of Podcast Engineering School, check out the website, Podcast Engineering.
Can't use ribbon.
Yeah, so there you go. So it didn't seem to, it didn't seem to affect the quality so much because it was already compressed enough, right? So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool to know that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's right. See, Barry knows. Hey, so I don't know if you guys. Oh, hey, Eileen. So if you guys want me to try anything else, any other settings here or any other experiments, let me know. I could try it. I kind of tried a few things, and I don't know how long. How long has the stream been? How do I tell? I don't know. On Facebook, it says I started about an hour ago. Oh, it says an hour and 27 minutes? Is that real? Okay. Hour and 28 minutes. Wow, I've been streaming a long time. So, I mean, if you've been with me the whole time, God bless you, because, I mean, I've been going through some nutty stuff here, but. So, anyway, Eileen's in the house. The Hayos. So, yeah. Well, I tried soft, and I didn't try softer. I tried hard, and that was actually pretty extreme, like unnatural sort of extreme. So hey, Noslin, thanks for your good comment, man. Thanks for being here. I think I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I mean, I don't have anything else major to do, but if seriously, if you want me to try, if you're on right now and you want me to try something with this, let me know. The max loudness. So yeah, I think so. What did we learn? Should we do that? Should we talk about what we learned? Well, all right. Well, I learned that so these are the new advanced parameters down here, and I really like the fact. Well, I like medium because it's medium and it's nice and sort of pretty transparent, which is good. I like that, and I also like being able to choose, 3 or 4 or 5. Well, probably 4 or 5. Again, I would probably recommend 5 or 4. Like I said, mine are around 4 to 4.5, so that's me doing it by hand. So yeah, 5 would be good. Peak level, I always choose -1. And filtering, well, this is if you have a lot of low end or not. If you're not sure, or if you didn't do any EQing or anything, then I would definitely use the filtering, because it just cleans up that low end, which for podcasting is not, well, for voices it's not really needed. That super low end, it's not a big part of a human voice, so that's fine. But music, yeah, I mean, music, sometimes you want the music to have the low end. So if you're putting an entire episode with the music and the voices through Auphonic, I probably would not use this filtering, because it'll roll off the low end on the music and it'll make the music sound not as beefy and a little more wimpy. So noise and hum reduction. All right, I think this is good. So this was a fun stream. I hope you guys learned something, and I got a couple ideas. I kind of want to tease one of my ideas right now, but I don't think I'm gonna. Just stay tuned. And obviously, Podcast Engineering School, we start September 18th. Still time to jump on board. So thank you all for hanging out. If you have any ideas of like things you want me to stream or talk about or show you, let me know. Again, today, was it today? Yeah, this morning, the Dan Dugan episode came out, the inventor of the automatic microphone mixer. This was a good episode, and I will tell you, this is a little behind the scenes right here. If you stuck with me this long, you deserve to know this. Dan Dugan was recording with a Sennheiser MKH 416, which is a shotgun microphone. He was in his home with a shotgun mic, but here's the thing. He was not wearing headphones. He was listening to me through speakers. So he did record himself locally through the 416, and he sent it to me. And his voice sounds pretty good. I mean, there was some background noise at times, because of his dog and because of his wife and because of his assistant. And okay, whatever it is, he's at home hanging out. It's cool. But in his track was also my voice coming through the speakers into his mic, which obviously that's really not cool, because I had to go through his entire track and really edit the crap out of it to remove my voice. So, and sometimes the edits aren't perfect, because, sometimes we would talk over each other slightly. So it wasn't too weird though. And I think the episode ended up coming out pretty good. I mean, it came out really good. When he didn't have a lot of background noise and when I wasn't talking, he sounds fine. I mean, you can hear that he's in his house, but it was great. And of course, the content of what he was talking about overshadowed all that, the sound quality, because he was, I mean, it's just it's a really good episode. And he was a great guest. So Dan Dugan, I know you're not watching this, but thank you again. And thank you all for watching. This has been great. I am going to actually punch out. So and by the way, if you have any tips, streaming tips for me, if I made any faux pas or I did something wrong or bad, or I could do something better, please let me know. I'm not a streamer. I'm an audio engineer. I'm a mix engineer. So anyway, thank you. Thank you, Eileen. See ya. Thanks, Bryant. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next time.